Hey there, Capricorn Connection. I am excited to have you here, Capricornicus. Magnificent, goldness, beautiful, powerful. Is that how you feel inside? Maybe not at the moment, because this is the card that is coming in as encouragement. I am acknowledging my flaws and improving them. Now, the reason we're up close and personal is there are gusts of wind that could be disturbing the reading. And there are 4 pelicans up above, silent, stealth, swift, and steady. It's funny, as much as they're birds of the air, they resonate strongly for Capricorn energy. So I'm acknowledging my flaws and improving them. And maybe there's been so much of a heavy hand on trying to fix and mend and improve and achieve and overcome and overcome and overcome and overcome, thinking it'll eventually get to you, but it sounds like a broken record. Okay, so let's put some gold into this, my friend, and see what we can find. The back says growth and comfort do not coexist. Well, we don't have to just exist. We're here to enjoy. And just like we breathe in and we breathe out, they have 2 different functions. And if you notice, yes, I am glistening. It's like 7:30 in the morning. It's a gazillion degrees out here. So I am thankful for that wind. So like that, growth and comfort do not coexist. Yes, they do. We express them in the same, so we grow and we expand and we contract, okay? So let's go through the movements here and find out what is going on. Now, we'll get to some of you later, so if you want to check out about romance, that seems to be showing up here, and there's a bit of indecision coming on in, but they're saying save that for the background. So let's get into the foreground first. If that's you, you can click ahead, but this seems to be foundational in building, because when we're coming from this place, we can often paint a turd. We can often make excuses for other people's behavior in our connection in Capricorn, overcoming. Sometimes you could be trying to overcome the gap in that relationship where you're having these fond feelings and y'all seem to connect at times, and then other times you're like, well, I have all this excess extra energy, let me help them see, because you can often be in the golden key. You can see what they lack, or and not lack as a person. Lack in movement, motivation, maybe access to, maybe bits of wisdom, things like that. And then you're overworking yourself and diminishing your value, my friend. Let's upload from that and get out of there. Okay? Get into the truth of who you are. Leave them alone. What that means is don't focus on them, because when you're focusing on them, then spirit can't focus on you. That's why your dreams and desires aren't coming in. Is it has all these other people's preferences keyed into your phone, and so your phone's remembering the everything instead of the you. And we want to get specific and about you, because you are a beautiful vessel, my friend. Let's get into this and quit breaking ourselves up from all that stress. All right, Capricorn. I love it because they bring it in power. Boom, 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 boom. Hopefully I've got this up where you can see. The screen is so black I cannot even tell. But dragon power, you can see where that has exhausted you. So some of you might just need to schedule a little short vacay to rest and to sleep. Go get some special provisions, bring them into your home. Don't answer your phone. You could even tell people in advance, I am on vacation. And don't explain, because explaining is draining. And draining how? Because you give people a connection into your privacy. Sometimes private is private, okay? So take that private time for yourself. Some of you may have strong Virgo placements if I'm hearing that coming up. But take this time to rest and to restore. You might even check yourself into a hotel room where you can have a little break. Maybe if you have children, you could let your spouse or friends or family or whoever know, hey, I need a little break just to check out and to rest. Can we arrange a weekend sleepover for my kids with you or whatever else? You see what I'm saying? Because there are certain times that you'll find out as a Capricorn that you have to ask. It's not often offered. And you could think, well, that's rude. Can't they see how stressed I am? No. Honey friend, I am telling you, I could feel like I look like I'm splitting apart. Because, I mean, look at me. I do. I look like I'm splitting apart. But to other people, they see confidence. They see agility. They see me moving through these things. And they don't see the same experience that I'm having on the inside. So just ask, okay? So for those of you who need that total rest and reset, it's like a reboot for your computer when things are kind of glitching or fritzing out. Just taking that little time to go offline with your energy from others in connection to the world, okay? And that doesn't just mean technology. I'm talking about your energy with the human world. Go offline and just take that little reprieve. and watch what happens, how you come back strong. And I would say the reason why they started off where they did is don't go back to those same patterns. Availing everyone to your privacy. Keep a little privacy in your day. Keep a little things to yourself. Don't explain because it's draining. And then they're still just going to ask you to do it anyway. And that's why we don't keep looking into other people's business. Now, that was your job and life assignment for a very long time when Saturn ruled our sign. But I kicked Saturn on out. You know how? We can do that. Because I've been through so much and I had the Saturn retrograde, being able to take that retrospective reflection and get in and go, you do not own me. You are not controlling me. We are not going to continue to live in this domination where everyone and everything else comes first. And then I can just shine in the fact that I was successful at it. No, I have other passions and dreams inside and I want to live them. And I don't want it to have to be from hard and from up, down, up, down, up, down, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then all I ever do is fetch coffee for people and don't get to my golden self. Hello. No, thank you. Step off. And to step off, I have to say no to that by getting in the KNOW of myself, getting in the know of who I am and of my value. It's not about your worth, friend, and you don't even have to keep that up. We flicking that off because that's a lot of Saturn, okay? So what I have brought in here at this channel is the merging of Jupiter and the Sun. Jupiter is expansive. It is curious. It's being able to explore. What do you think the goats do? The Capri. That means goat. They're dancing along the mountaintops. They're nibbling out little grasses here. It might be rocky and they're not like cracked under the heart of its heart. No, they're like, oh, there's a little nibble of grass over there. Flick, flick, bling, bling. Maybe go look up some YouTube videos of it and you'll be restored seeing how joyous and easy it is. And from birth, they are doing that. And when that camera zooms out and you see the scope of how high and how dangerous that is, you don't even think of it because you're in the moment. My friend, that is your power. Being in the beauty of the moment and the step. And that's why they're trying to clear away all that otherness, because that's what's been cracking you up. That's why the gold is shining, baby, but your gold about to shine for real because you're manifesting dreams. You are manifesting dreams. Whose dreams? This time, my friend, it's your dreams, okay? It's time for you. It's time for that playfulness, that curiosity, that energy coming in. That's why Saturn has merged with the Sun, not occluding the Sun, but empowering your Sun, allowing it to open up to the world of impossibilities. All things being possible because you've always known that. But when you kept back burnering, you never got to experience it, nor did this world, my friend. So that's the beauty of you stepping into your gold, you shining, being privileged, being favored, being excellent, hard things being easy for you. Do not shun it. Do not dismiss it. Do not disdain it. Do not shrink it. Shut it down. None of that. That's why Jupiter has come. As Jupiter has come in, you might check out readings on where your Jupiter is, or also where your rising sign is. And I'll tell you about that in a moment. And you can go to my channel, Joy to the World Tarot, or at My Joy Abounds, and it'll bring it up for you, or I could put a link down below where we do hit all the other tarot signs, and we also have chit chats about things about life. But anyways, as Jupiter and the Sun have merged, it's like the key going into the door, liberating us from karma, liberating us from Saturn, and it causes your Sun to rise. It gets your rising sign activated, so you might want to go there and check out your rising sign as well. Okay, Capricorn, and that has to do with this playfulness and it not just being alone, because as you rising and divining and living out, you're going to find other people at your same level, frequency, and vibration. They're like, I don't want your gold, I got my own. And they're confident in being who they are, and it kind of refreshes you and snaps you back to your truth. I could say reality, but your reality once it's following your truth, and you're like, oh, they told me no. Oh, they got other things to do. Oh, I like them. I like that. I enjoy their company. Wow, what a good friend. And you start realizing in the world you've been operating in, the shizdizzery and all that confuggery and all that stuff, the world of Saturn, slavery, and obligation, you're like, no, because you recognize your value. And you realize they're not being arrogant. They're just being assured of themselves and knowledgeable of who they are and what they have going on right now. There's nothing suchy much about that, friend. I want you to be full of yourself, because if you're not full of yourself, you're either full of shiz or you're full of everybody else. Hello. There is this beautiful sweet spot between selfishness and selflessness, and that is in the self, in you. And when you're in anybody else's lane or anybody else's business, which means they're not in your business. So we're giving you the power of the hand to say, step off mine. And how do you do that? No, thanks. And you leave it there. And that guilt and that condemnation and that obligation and coercion, all those other things, like, fine, I'll squeeze it in the midst of everything else, that all you ever got to do was pass out and recover. And you had to fix all the cracks and the stuff from everybody else's weight and birds. No, thank you. No, thank you. So that brings in Bluebird's spirit of happiness, but what was coming in behind it is not separate. These are merging together as the ancient oak spirit of strength, coming into the truth of your happiness, and they're talking about living from your joy. Now, joy is this, okay? Let me get a little quick def. Here's a little quick def. Is, everybody's longing for love, and it seems to be there are a few who can kind of grasp it, but so many that it seems to have to be work to maintain it, attain it, whatever else. It's because that's not the source. That's not what we're actually looking for. Not everything comes from love. Everything comes from life. Everything comes from that sun that is shining on me right now. It brings life to everything, because if it's not filled with life, there is no love. It's conditional. It's momentary. It's fleeting. It shows up to get you hooked and get you trapped, and then it floats and it sits back like Jabba the Hutt, making everybody else orchestrate its happiness, and it's just some big old nasty boogery slug. You know what I'm saying? That might not be what you see when you look at it, but that's how it feels, right? Okay? Hello? Yeah. All right. Give me some emojis down there, some thumbs up, like straight up joy. How are you breaking this down? I don't know. When I connect to you guys, this wisdom comes through. And I sit on the other side of this lens and listen, learn, grow, and develop too. Don't learn. I'm pushing that on out because it requires earning. Thank you, Jupiter and the sun. I get into the growth and the development, the experience of it, this living, this playful life, this engaging and imbibing with my joy, my happiness. Because if you're engaging in your joy, living from your joy, that's because you're prioritizing your own happiness. Happiness is the cellular DNA of your body. It is your health, friend. And from your health stems your wealth, that tree of life. Can you see that? It's not mysterious once it's exposed. It's like, aha, the light cuts on and there we are. But that's the beauty of the bluebird, and behind it we have that magic of the unicorn. The unicorn wasn't a horse. Ancient lore, it's a goat, my friend. And it's the one, instead of having the two, having to fulfill the both, it's like that third eye, that knowledge of self. Remember, the K-N-O-W is way more powerful than the N-O, because then you don't have to have that pressure. You're in the knowledge of yourself, and you get around other people who have the knowledge of yourself. They're not selfish or selfless. They're self. They know who they are, what they're here for, and where they're going. Yes. Okay. That's that unicorn horn coming. And at that point, you don't even need wings to fly. Your magic makes you fly, because it synergizes the space around you and the space inside of you. It owns your head space, which is what we call aura. And it doesn't let the goldfish poop of this world creep up on in here. It's like having an oxygen bubble without having to be in a bubble. It is just that beauty, like our atmosphere is the outer space, and it says, your issues aren't coming up in my tissues. Thank you, my friend. And now from that, since we've gotten into the joy, we're getting into the space of the door to romance, okay? Can you see it's a room within a room within a room within a room? And this is you liberating and freeing your heart unconditionally. You don't have to stay caged in, hemmed in, locked down, uber protected anymore. But if you stuck around and you watched the whole thing, you could see why. You could see why, as they cleared out this old obligation, the old expectation of this world and Saturn and all those demands on you, and it freed you and it liberated you like free like a bird. Can you see these? Your joy that you don't have to, home does not have to be, look, or feel like that. And if home does, there's some attachment issues, okay? So clear that out, bring yourself into balance, because sometimes one person coming into balance does transform the environment. And at first the other person might be a little, but that's not your problem. So don't carry the emotional weight or burden for that. That is not what your vessel is for. Your vessel is for the champagne of life, the bubbles of your soul, your golden self effervescing with your joy, peace, and happiness. That's your only responsibility in this life and in this world, okay? And then from that will spring forth the action. saying if either it will radically transform and change on its own, that dynamic in your home, or you will have the knowledge and the wisdom of what to do. And it's like you don't necessarily need the courage because you have true love. You know what that is. You know who you are. You've transcended those limitations of what this world has taught you were here for. What that conditioning of Saturn is, you know, it's like when they say somebody grooms, a sexual predator will groom its victims. That's like what Saturn has done. It has groomed us, and it's been predating on our sex, because our sex is our base root power, and it doesn't mean the action of having sex with another individual. It's talking about the ownership of who we are, our base root chakra, which goes down into the Capricorn energy, down through the legs, into the knees, to the feet, and into the ground, because we are the root and the fruit, my friend. And that has the courage to know this, that you are free and you are here to flow and to follow that beautiful path. Because see, it's going to transform, my friend, from that rest for those of you. And oh, I pray juicy, delicious rest and restoration to you, my friends, who are going through that, into this. Can you see the difference? This is what happens when we go into the KNOW. All right. And then that opens up. It opens up. It's like enlightenment. It's that Wonka Vader. It's you being able to move about in life without being hemmed in by that guilt, that obligation, all those nasty attachment strings and strands of Saturn squatting up on your Capricorn. You are the unicorn, my friend. You're the only one, remember the unicorn horn, that is the center of your focus. And from there, you can engage with others, whether it be a spouse, friends, family, children, okay? It begins with you first. Be gold, my friend. I love you and I celebrate you here. Let's chat in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you, whether you're visual or whether you're verbal. You could put emojis or you could put some words down there for me. Also, do me a favor and tap that like button real quick. Help our channel rise up to the top, because it's not just for me, friend. It's for you. It's for all of us. And if you haven't, subscribe. I'd love to have you at my channel. All right, friends, until next time. Bye.